All right, boys. Let's see what this FC25 gameplay deep dive has. How many times will they say FCIQ?
Tactics inspired by the greatest minds of the game. More hypermotion from last year's most memorable matches.
No!
And new play styles.
No more hypermotion!
Everything you need to win for the club. Introducing FCIQ, a complete overhaul of the game's tactical system where team tactics, player roles, and in-game smart tactics give you more control over how your team moves and plays than ever before.
Success in FC is no longer just about putting in the best player at a position. It's about putting in the right player for the system you want to run.
With FCIQ, team tactics have been modernized at both ends of the pitch.
That's twice.
And your teammates are smarter both on and off the ball.
I don't believe you.
This year is that FCIQ can be used to easily emulate
That's
your
three
favorite manager's tactics.
3 FCIQs.
Say, for example, instead of a traditional 4-4-2 that might feel static or disorganized, you can set up your team in a more fluid, balanced style that might alternate between a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1, something close to what you might see under Ancelotti at Madrid.
Counter-attack simulator.
Madrid have dominated possession.
That is truly
Dude, okay, I don't, I can't, oh god, let's just, do you see how the attacking AI just all runs in a teleportation line, like no intelligent movement into spaces?
Being used appropriately in the system.
That's why we're excited
all
to
marketing mumbo jumbo
to FC. We built an out-of-game AI model in order to help identify which player roles fit players in FC.
What does it
Picking
even
the
mean?
proper role means you can unleash players in entirely new ways.
That's cool.
Each role can have multiple focuses.
A plus or a plus.
Look at the attackers. Look at the attackers. Look at all 3 attackers next to Vinny. All of them just running into the defenders.
That means it's up to you to assign
There's no changes
that fits the player and your strategy.
To give you a sense of how your team will play, you can check your players' activity maps, detailed descriptions of each player's role, a dynamic summary of your tactic, and even how your team looks with and without the ball.
No defenders reading the cross.
And when you need it, the game will provide in-match tactical suggestions based on the current match situation.
I'd assume this is not for Ultimate Team. This has to be career mode.
And focus using the directional.
This is cool.
If you find a tactic you like, you can share it with your friends
or followers
using a tactic-specific code.
FCIQ is
so everybody's going to have the sweat tactics from the pros.
All modes.
We'll go into more detail on career mode in the career mode deep dive, but FCIQ makes team tactics and individual player roles essential to the success of your team.
FCIQ will also influence the core systems in career, relating to transfers, scouting, and the
6 times, 7 times even.
Squad building and development goes way beyond just OVRs.
In clubs, the biggest impact of FCIQ will be on customizing your team's tactics. Club managers and lobby captains will be able to select, create, and customize tactics and choose player roles for the team.
These tactics influence AI behaviors, which in the past have been a challenge for clubs. FCIQ gives players more control over the way their teams are set up, but most importantly, the way their AI teammates play and position themselves.
FC25 is the world's game in every sense, which means if it's in the game, it's in our game. We've used volumetric capture to grab even more real-world moments and bring them into FC. We have real movements.
I mean, I'm not upset about this. This
real
is cool.
styles of play, and of course, real celebrations across over 19,000 players and teams added to FC25.
Play styles were a huge success to the game last year, and we're building on that. In FC25, we're adding new goalkeeper play styles to the game.
And there's lots more we're excited about.
Okay.
Professional fouls, new skill moves.
Bro, that's gonna make us break our controller. Professional fouls.
Full body AI mimic, realistic movements in jerseys and materials, and so much more.
Oh no.
That's it. And this is FC25. Welcome back to the world's game. Now, what will you do for the club?
That's it? Wait, is that for real it? Well, we all know their new marketing buzzword for this year, for this summer is FCIQ. What was it last year? God, dynamic movement? Was it dynamic movement last year? Every summer they have a new buzzword to try and just over promote to us to make us overly excited for nothing. FCIQ was said a total of 10 times in that 2-minute video or 3-minute video. But what I will say is what I noticed in the gameplay deep dive is if you watch the static movement of the players, Like if you go back and just watch the actual players on the pitch move, and I know it's only career mode, but if I can pull one of these seconds up here, let me see. Okay. For God's sake, they just bring in too much what would be a good example here? This one? This one would be a good example, maybe. Okay. Just watch the attacking AI. There is no, like, they put arrows everywhere of movement and whatever, but if you watch the attacking AI, it's just this. It's just no matter what you're doing in possession of the ball, the attacking AI is this. Meanwhile, the defenders are all doing this and moving into spaces and reading plays and whatever. Attacking AI just doing this. That is a concern. That is a concern that, once again, it doesn't look like... Vinny made the run inside, which is kind of dope. But you can't tell me, unless you're watching an under 10s, you know, team play in Canadian, like in a Canadian league, a bunch of children are the ones that just run into straight lines or bunch around the ball and run. Like, it really is going to be a copy and paste of FC24 and a copy and paste of FIFA 23, guys. Gameplay wise. Again, don't get me wrong. This stuff I think is very cool. I feel like this is probably going to be more likely something that we're seeing in career mode. I don't think that, like, being able to shift your... Back in the day, you were able to shift and adjust your formations in Ultimate Team. And whereas for non-psychos like me, and maybe you guys, of course, it was fun because I could turn like a 4-3-2-1 into a 4-1-2-3-1. Does that make sense? So you basically take the 4-3-2-1. That's how I got my first Elite 1 in FIFA. I think FIFA 17 is when you were able to do it. Basically, I would use a 4-3-2-1, but I would move the two center mids into a cam role, basically, and then the one central center mid, I'd drop them just into a DM role. So that was cool. The problem is, knowing the FIFA community, people would run 5 at the backs that they would turn into a 10 at the back. No joke. Or they would turn into a 9 at the back. They would have actually 9 players stacked in front of the goal and then one striker up top once they'd go 1 or 2 goals up. So I don't think they would bring this into Ultimate Team based off of how sweaty the community is. But there has to be a way to set your team up. And people will say, oh man, set up tiki-taka and set up this and set up that. And none of it works, boys. The other concern I have as well is this FC IQ leads me to believe that it's going to be more added delay into gameplay. It'll be more added delay via the IQ deciding what animation is going to work here when you're into space and have a chance to shoot. Instead of releasing the shot, the FC IQ or the whatever the buzzword that they want, the dynamic movement is going to cause your player to like try and set up extra and then release the shot in a weird movement, fluid movement, if you will. But by that time, the open space is gone and your shot's going to be blocked or you're going to get tackled from behind or something like that, right? So I really wish with these gameplay deep dives, EA actually went into the depths of what are the problems with the game. Like them saying, oh, with FC IQ, the referees have been recoded now. So when you're being high pressed and you turn away and put your body in front of the ball and someone tackles through your back, it actually reads as a foul. We've noticed so many times through different testing and whatever that very often tackles don't even get recorded, right, within the box, and people heavy pressing and heavy tackling constantly, and this new FC IQ actually reads these tackles now more as actual fouls, so you'll feel more justified in when you're moving into space and you get fouled, you'll get a call. Meanwhile, we've also noticed that actual manual defending where you're actually using skill to defend and you go in for a tackle, we've noticed that for some reason the AI metrics or the AI mechanics cause it so that they constantly bounce in on net and double and triple bounce, and very often it doesn't feel rewarding doing manual tackles. If they were talking about stuff like this and adjusting the things that real world gameplay fans like me and you guys deal with, I'd be a lot happier than them just fucking force feeding down our throat FCIQ as a buzzword. That's what pisses me off, man. So, you know, I told myself before this gameplay deep dive that I'd try and be positive, and I think I was positive in some parts, but as always, this is why nobody should pre-order this game. Nothing that they talked about here addresses any issues that we've all had in FC24, and it's diabolical that they expect people to pre-order their game based off of zero communication about... Well, I suppose about a damn thing, but like zero communication whatsoever about anything. So I hope you guys stand strong. We all want to play FC25, but we got to show EA that they got to work to earn our trust back. And we'll pick up the game when it's available on the 20th of September if you want to play it early, or you buy the even cheapest version and play it when it has its global release on the 28th or 27th or 29th of the month of September, right? We should really hold fast in that, man. Like the pre-order giving you one crappy hero should not be enough for you to give up your money 2 months early to EA so that they can show their shareholders, look at all these extra millions we've made off of pre-orders, guys. Like, they shouldn't be rewarded for ignoring so many, if not all of the issues in FC24, while then trying to get sales of FC25 just by talking endlessly about FCIQ, where there's no actual parameters or metrics about what even FCIQ is other than just more marketing buzzwords. So those are my final words on it. As everyone, as a content creator that pretty much exclusively or majorly plays whatever new Ultimate Team is out, I'm excited. This is not that I'm not excited about this new game that's coming. Of course I am. But we have to temper our emotions a little bit, man. Otherwise, and temper our expectations and really temper our excitement, because we're going to be left so disappointed, man. We have to hold this company accountable so they actually do deliver a good game come September 20th. That's what I'm hoping for.